What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video, we are going to be discussing what the next Sonic game really needs in terms of gameplay, story, and all of the other stuff that comes along with that. But before we hop into today's video, we have a word from our sponsor. And today's sponsor is SkillShare. SkillShare is still, once again, a great place to learn some new skills or hone your skills that you already have into something even better. And they have many different classes you can choose from, such as film and video, fine art, illustration, music, photography, web development, and much more. And for today's class, I recommend Animation Station with Neil Patrick Harris and John Bergerman, as I think animation's pretty cool and it's actually something I wouldn't mind getting into myself, so I feel like this is a good place to start. And Skillshare offers many classes like this one. And remember, Skillshare is specifically for learning, meaning there are no ads and they're always launching premium classes so you can stay focused. And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription. The first 1,000 of my subscribers to click the link will get a free trial of Skillshare premium membership, then it's only $10 afterwards. So go on and explore your creativity. With that said, let's hop into this. First thing I want to talk about is gameplay. I think the gameplay of Sonic is very important, obviously, and it needs to be done right. A couple years ago, we just came off of Sonic Forces, and Sonic Forces didn't do anything inherently wrong with the gameplay. It still stuck to the same formula, but just severely downgraded and super safe. I don't think going safe is a good route because it leads to people feeling like the game is one of the worst games of all time in terms of the Sonic franchise. The number one thing a Sonic game can't be is boring. Boring is one of the worst things you can be as a Sonic game. Even the games that are heavily criticized and critiqued, I feel like have some ounce of fun to them at least, which is why I think a lot of people probably enjoy Sonic 06, although I still don't like that game. But what contributes to games like Forces being safe? And it's one very big elephant in the room, and it's lack of control. Sonic Forces does not give you control the same way games like the adventure games or even Unleashed or Generations. Your control is severely limited and it's just not very fun, and it leads to the game being safe and it's automated and it feels like it plays itself. The next Sonic game should have freedom of movement and expression because I feel like that is Sonic. He loves to move fast and is a very expressive character, so having that throughout gameplay I think would contribute to a strong presence of Sonic the Hedgehog and what the character really is and represents. I think there's a fan game that captures what I'm saying perfectly, and it's called Project Hero. And in Project Hero, that engine allows Sonic to freely move around and it feels really great, and the controls are tight and Sonic's movement feels like butter. Project Hero incorporates so many of the past games into one with things like the kick and stomp from the boost games, and we have the bounce from the adventure games, and there may be no boost, but Sonic's top speed can be reached very easily due to things like the drop dash. And the way Project Hero plays is exactly how I want to see Sonic play in the future, or something along those lines. My only problem with a game like this is the verticality Sonic can reach is pretty insane and he feels a little bit overpowered. But I feel like that could be easily changed in an official game because he's already been underpowered because of Forces. But Project Hero is fun and creative of Sonic's moveset, and it feels good and is just fun to play, and it's something I really want to see out of the next Sonic game. If we ever get anything like this, I hope it is good. Like I said earlier, gameplay is the most important part of Sonic, but I wish the story was probably just as important or just more prominent. And I know I just made a video talking about rebooting the Sonic story, but let's just throw all that out of the window. Let's just talk about, if we just continue from where we are now, what would I really like to see? I think it's pretty obvious that I'm not the biggest fan of the direction of how they've done a lot of these modern games since Colors, so I think going back to a mixture of Sonic Unleashed is the best idea. Sonic Unleashed had a mixture of tone of seriousness and jokiness, and I think it blended it together pretty well. I think Sonic Unleashed's story was just overall enjoyable because of that, because you had a lot of lighthearted moments and you had moments where it's time to get serious. And I feel like Sonic has spent way too much time in the lighthearted moments where the serious moments don't even feel serious and it just feels like it's a joke at the end of the day. Biggest example of that for me is Sonic Lost World, and even Sonic Forces. For example, in Sonic Forces, when they show a black screen and white text and says Sonic has been tortured for 6 months, then they cut to Sonic sitting there in handcuffs just laughing at a joke and just taunting Zavok. He doesn't look distraught at all, and it's quite funny. And it's not actually funny because it's funny. It's more so funny because it's trying to be serious and is falling flat on its face. So I think it's time to change the approach and go back to what worked, I believe, better beforehand. And it seems like the writers who made all of these games are gone, at least from what it seems like, so hopefully we can get someone in new who can understand the character of Sonic better and just make the world a lot more interesting and make stuff a lot more interesting. Now personally, I would love to go back to the Sonic Adventure 2 days with how they did storytelling, but I think it's best for Sonic to have more lighthearted elements such as in Unleashed. But I also want the characterization of Sonic and the Black Knight, because Sonic in that game to me is probably the best he's ever been as a character. He shows a wide range of emotions, and at the end of the day when you defeat the final boss, Sonic feels like an actual person when he talks to Merlina at the end of the game. And he spreads a very important life lesson that transcends video games. And when Sonic does this, I feel like it works very, very well. Because the way the character is written usually when he's good is he just feels like a blue hedgehog that likes to go fast and enjoys the adventures of life. And he just thinks that everyone else should do the same thing and just enjoy life for what it is.
Every world has its end. I know that's kind of sad, but that's why we gotta live life to the fullest in the time we have. At least, that's what I figure.
And I feel like you just don't get that with these more recent games. You just get cringy jokes, in my own personal opinion, that just get cracked and then the game just ends with the game ending and Eggman being defeated. I just feel like Sonic games have no real themes these days. Even going back to Sonic Adventure 2, we have Shadow's whole arc, which meant something, which I think also transcend video games, which is not holding on to something in the past and letting go and moving forward and not enacting revenge on whoever or whatever it is you need to, or at least you think you need to. And I know at the end of the day, this is a blue hedgehog that goes fast, but when you inject life lessons into stuff that people are going to hear and hold on to, it means something at that point, whether it's a blue hedgehog video game or not. And I would just love to see that grandioseness back, I guess, for Sonic. It just feels like it's been missing. And now this is probably the most important thing. This next game needs good marketing. Sonic Forces had absolutely terrible marketing, and it didn't really just get much shown off. But as I remember, I was there for it because when Sonic Forces was not out yet, I was covering almost every little thing there was when it came out and making news videos. And the main concern for me right now is if they really want to release Sonic games in 2021 and we still haven't gotten an announcement yet at all, there is not going to be much buffer time to actually market this game and have it be a big thing. I mean, sure, it'll sell because it's Sonic, but it could probably reach even higher heights in terms of sales and recognition if they had a lot of time to market and advertise the game and get people excited. But there hasn't really been any of that, especially if they plan on releasing games this year. It's just kind of like, that's not a lot of time to actually market your product. But in terms of sales for Sonic Forces, we don't know exactly how it sold. All we do know is that Sega said their game sold well. I don't know what well is to them because the game was a $40 AA game, not even a AAA game, and it was $40. So maybe just 1 million copies is good for them. So I want Sonic to do well. And if this next game truly is going to be this great, then hopefully it does super well, and hopefully the marketing knocks it out of the park with the limited time that they'll have if they really do plan to release games this year. But this is what I think Sonic games need to do well from now on in order to succeed. And if you guys think otherwise or have any opinions, let me know in the comments below, because that's going to be it for today's video. And if you enjoyed, subscribe, it helps. Hit the like button, that really helps as well, and I'll see you in the next one.